Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and the spoiler train stops for nobody. But it does stop for really boring mundane reprints and vanilla commons and just weak sauce stuff. So a couple of those getting skipped, but we're not skipping Tribute to Urborg. It's a 2-cost instant in black with kicker, 1/1 blue, and target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn, but if it was kicked, it gets an additional -1/-1 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. It's still not that good. Next up, Phyrexian Rager, I am fairly certain that's a reprint. It's a 3-cost 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life. But then there's Vohar, Vodalian Desecrator. So the Phyrexians can swim. Well, this is a legendary creature, Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard, proving that you actually can take Merfolk and make them even worse. It's 1 black, 1 blue, and it's a 1/2, and you can tap it and draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded an instant or sorcery card this way, then you're probably running a really dickish deck. Also, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then if you pay 2, sack it, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that spell would be put in your graveyard, exile it though. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, so just like a nice kaboom on the way out there. Okay. I don't like spell recursion, but if you lose this, hey. Next up, Elas Il-Kor, Sadistic Pilgrim, with a weird name. So it's 1 black, 1 white. It's a 2/2 legendary creature, Phyrexian Core Cleric with Death Touch. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. And whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, your typical white-black cleric there, but Phyrexified. Next up, we got Automatic Librarian. It's a 3-cost, full colorless 3/2 artifact creature construct, and when it enters the battlefield, scry 2. That's just a good solid card, mostly for draft, but, still, it's good. Next, Elvish Hydromancer. Oh, good, the elves discovered water power. So it's a 3/2 for 3 elf wizard. Kicker, holy cow, 4 with one of them being blue. And when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. So a duper for 7 total. That's a late game threat, but this has absolutely no threat early game unless you're playing elf tribal. And it doesn't look that strong, but still, this is like an interesting card for sure. This is how hard it should be to duplicate a creature, wizards. Yes, do this always. Next up, Sprouting Goblin, and they put a beautiful depiction of the average Yu-Gi-Oh player when they get the Platinum Trophy of not bathing for 1,000 consecutive days. So anyway, 2-cost red, 2/2, and it has kicker 1 green, and when it enters battlefield, if it was kicked, search your library for a land card with a basic land type, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle, and if you pay 1 red, you can tap it, sack a land, and draw a card. Oh, that is a landfall nightmare, and this card would be insane with that 1 land recursion thing that they reprinted in that core set. I keep thinking Scape Shift, but it's the other one. Although, that goes with it. So I think that'll actually see a lot of play outside of Standard. But next up, there's King Darien XLVIII. That's probably some amount. It's not actually Roman numerals, it's extra large V, which is the name of his specific brand of fur coat. This is actually an advertisement. This is one of those ad cards. Anyway, this card's nuts. So it's a 3-cost, 1 green, 1 white, 2/3 legendary creature, human soldier, but all other creatures, tokens, any tribal, doesn't matter, all other creatures you control get +1/+1. So that right off the bat is pretty nuts. And then if you pay 5 with 1 being green, 1 being white, the rest being generic, put a 1/1 counter on King Darien and create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Okay, it's steep, but you can just keep them coming. And then if you sack him, creature tokens you control gain hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. There's a king that serves his people. Some beautiful, beautiful fur coats. Next up, Danitha, Medalia's Hope. Oh, good. It looks like she probably didn't get turned into a Phyrexian Borg drone, whatever the crap. So she's a 5-cost white 4/4 legendary creature, human knight with first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Damn, Danitha do be mad. She been hitting the gym to get them gains. So when she enters the battlefield, you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield attached to Danitha. That is overpowered as balls, but she does cost 5. Aura, that's nice. Equipment, how did it get into the graveyard in the first place? But that's just for death recursion. Now we're talking from hand. Okay, you can get some nutty equipment, but not really in Standard. With already having first strike, vigilance, and lifelink, yeah, this is pretty nuts. Next up, we've got Silver Scrutiny. It's a sorcery, it's 2 blue plus X, and you may cast Silver Scrutiny as though it had flash if X is 3 or less, and then draw X cards. So you can just draw like crazy, pay 5, so 7 total, get 5 cards, but you can only cast it basically at instant speed as an instant, probably during your opponent's end step. Once you've saved the mana from not casting a counterspell, that's the typical usage, as long as X is 3 or less, which it probably will be most of the time. So yeah, I can see why they made this a rare. It's a very good card. But the question is what's going on here. So let's read what's going on here. Oh, I didn't even realize this is the story spotlight card. Karn's creation allowed him to monitor events across Dominaria. Nice. And everything he saw worried him. Yeah, that's the intelligence community for you. Next up, Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief. Could've just hired her to spy on stuff. Anyway, it's 1 green, 1 blue, 2/1 legendary creature, fairy rogue. Oh, because we needed those. Flying, and whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. And then because you can, do that with an aura, they put a reminder, a copy of an aura spell becomes a token. So it's just a token clone of it representing the permanent. So their creature, your creature, whatever, probably their creature, she gets a copy of it, whether it's permanent or temporary or anything in between. That's pretty wild. I mean, it's a good idea. You can't really count on what they're going to play, so I don't think people are going to play this, but in like a weird, chaotic, crazy something or other. So, Commander, yeah, this would be kind of fun. Next up, a tirer au found, which I believe is French for outfit of cheese. Nope, it's close. What the heck? It means drag below. Okay. That might be a reprint. Anyway, it's a 4-cost double black ritual, or as we call it, sorcery. It has domain, and each creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of basic land types among lands you control. So bare minimum 2 if you cast it. Even if it's mono, it's -2. And that's each creature. So, I mean, hey, not great, but it's not too bad as a sweeper, but as an unreliable sweeper where you don't know the size, and then you might take out some of your stuff by accident, this is just a bad card. It's just plain unreliable, and people don't like that. Next up, Djinn of the Fountain. Oh, he'll save you from the Phyrexians. It's a 6-cost double blue 4/4 creature Djinn with flying, and it's an uncommon, so it's probably not good. Djinn are historically just completely dumped on by wizards for some reason. They're just not powerful. They're like the opposite of Sphinxes. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one. It gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Whoa, watch out. Pump the brakes on the power level there. You've gone completely out of control. Or exile Djinn of the Fountain. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Wow. I mean, yeah, a little bit of time away from something this week would be good. Or scry 1. Whoa, ho. We found the new power card. Next up, Yugioh declares war. Are they going to yeet things at them? I had to say it. So, 2-cost Red Saga. 1, of course, read ahead. You can start wherever, you guys know how it works. Create a 0/2 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying named Ornithopter. Well, yeah, that is an Ornithopter, but it's weird to name it that when it isn't that, but okay. Then tap any number of untapped artifacts you control. When you do, Yugioh declares war, deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker, clearly indicating that they really helped the war effort with their 0/2s. And then part 3 here, chapter 3, whatever it's called, up to 1 target artifact you control becomes a creature with base power and toughness 4/4 until end of turn, which historically is a purely blue effect, but okay. I mean, just dropping it for 2 and doing read ahead on that, it's kind of annoying, actually. I think they went a little far with this one. I've seen way worse. It's just, this is kind of, bringing back Enso artifact memories, and I don't love that. Next up, Puissance de Gaia. Or as I like to call it, Gaia's Might. It's 1 green instant, and domain target creature gets +X, or +1/+1 until end of turn for each basic land type among lands you control. So, I mean, if you got 5 color out, this is a power card. But because you don't, it's a +2/+2, maybe a +3/+3 for 1, which, yeah, it's still good. Next up, Anointed Peacekeeper, and I assume that church is where he keeps his steroids. So it's a 3-cost 3/3 creature, human cleric vigilance, and as it enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand. I already hate it. Stop doing that. Plus, it's a black effect. Then choose any card name. Oh, okay, it's a Spelljammer, but still, with a hand spy, Could they make it more annoying? So spells your opponents cast with the chosen name cost 2 more to cast, so it's not even a full jammer. But okay, I mean, it probably shouldn't be. And then activated abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. So you can kind of jam its abilities when it's already in play. Not bad. It's a little too specific, but people could put it in the sideboard. I could see that. Next up, Hino de Batalla de Urlun. Why can't you just be Spanish, Portuguese? What's with the double O's? What is that? So this is the 3-cost red instant, and it has kicker 1 white, and then it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Nice. And if the spell was kicked, you gain 4 life. So just Lightning Helix pretty much, but with extra steps. I don't mind that, and Lightning Helix was a little strong. This is the low-powered set finally, remember? And I am thrilled about that. And the last one that I have time for today is Cleaving Skyrider. It's a 3-cost white 2/2 creature human warrior with flash, and kicker 3 with one of them being red, flying, and when it enters battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of attacking creatures. Oh, that's spicy. I mean, that 2-color is going to kill its playability, but it's pretty spicy. So, hey, thanks for watching. We're blowing through these at an amazing rate, but there's still a lot left to go, so don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.